Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I want to introduce you to Jamestown Invest, which offers you the opportunity to potentially diversify your portfolio by owning a piece of real places. Jamestown Invest offers access to commercial real estate opportunities not typically available to individual investors until now. You get affordable minimums and an online platform that makes every move easy. Learn more at JamestownInvest.com. Now let's make the lawyers happy. Securities are offered through North Capital Private Securities Corporate, member FINRA SIPC. Jamestown's portfolio of projects is not representative of Jamestown Invest One's investment strategy and the scale of the investments the fund intends to make. An investment in Jamestown Invest is illiquid, involves substantial risk, and there is potential for loss of part or all of investment capital. Visit JamestownInvest.com/OC for more information and the full offering statement. All right, now let's get into the show.
Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Matt Bronfman on the line, and he's CEO over at Jamestown. Matt, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on the show today.
All right, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about Jamestown Invest and really some of the acquisitions and investments that you've done this year, and also get into your partnership with StartEngine. But before we do that, just to get us started, how about you tell us a little bit more about how you got started? So how did you get on this path in business?
My background's as a lawyer. I graduated from Northwestern Law School. I practiced law at a firm and joined Jamestown in 1998, at the beginning of 1998, and have been a part of Jamestown now for about 23 years. Amazing.
And I think it's a great transition. So let's just dive right into Jamestown Invest. So for the listeners that haven't been following me for a while, we've definitely interviewed some others from Jamestown, and finally great to have the CEO on the line today. So let's just give a little bit of background. Tell us a little bit more about Jamestown Invest.
Okay, well, just a little background on Jamestown. We're roughly a $12 billion of assets under management real estate company, well known for assets ranging from Ponce City Market in Atlanta to Chelsea Market in New York to really major holdings in gateway and secondary cities throughout the country. We basically got our start roughly 37 years ago raising money for German investors who wanted to diversify into the U.S. business. And that's a business that has grown over time, that we continue to raise money from German investors, what I call sort of a dentist in Dusseldorf business. And then we expanded and have raised institutional capital from, prominent investors across the globe. And, what we have not done is what I would call the third leg of the stool. We've done institutional capital, we've done retail capital, we've done individuals in Germany, but we have not done previously investing on behalf of U.S. individuals. And this is really our latest innovation that we think will drive the future of investing. Basically, we see a broad move around what I call the democratization of investing, that people want to be able to invest in real estate, invest directly in real estate. And we launched this program in December of 2019 with the idea that we would do a direct-to-consumer platform. Again, the goal to democratize and make it easy to invest in real estate. There's some statistics that roughly only 10% of U.S. citizens invest in real estate. They have their, mutual funds they invest in. They have bank accounts, but people aren't really investing in real estate. The very affluent may be, but regular consumers, what I call it the dentist in Dusseldorf before, called the dentist in Detroit or Decatur, has traditionally not had the opportunity to invest in real estate. And what we are providing here is a direct-to-consumer product. It's not sold through, for the most part through, broker-dealers. It's really a minimum investment is $2,500, and it's an opportunity for somebody to go direct onto the internet and direct invest in this fund that we have called Jamestown Invest One for U.S. investors.
And I think that theme of democratizing investments is one I want to stick on a little bit longer, because in the past, I mean, I don't want to glance over that because it's a big shift, especially for a company as large as yours to be helping that market and providing that opportunity. Because in the past, I mean, when you just think about if you wanted that direct exposure to real estate, it becomes difficult. Like, it's not easy. And then there's also, argument for the idea of diversifying and being able to have a diversified portfolio of real estate. Well, if you're putting everything you have into one deal, one property, and let's just say that you're not also that experienced, I mean, that can not work out in your favor many times. And it just depends, of course, on the deal. But tell us a little bit more about what kind of feedback you received from this whole path you're going down in terms of democratizing and the assets and allowing people, like more people, to really get involved.
Well, we've gotten great early feedback. We launched in December of 2019, and notwithstanding a global pandemic, we've gotten great early response to it. And you're absolutely right, Adam. That dentist indicator that I call it, their access to, they can invest in a mutual fund, they can, do that sort of thing, but their ability to get into real estate has been very limited, and certainly even more limited if they wanted to work with what I would call an institutional caliber sponsor. Jamestown has bought and sold over $40 billion of real estate over the last 30 plus years. We've owned some of the most prominent assets around the country, and the type of sponsor we are with the reputation we have, the individual investor traditionally does not have an opportunity, candidly, to invest with a group like Jamestown. And so that was what we saw as the opportunity to do something, again, direct to consumer, and we've had really positive feedback. Again, we've raised a total of about of a little over $8 million with our all digital direct-to-consumer strategy, and we knew going into it would take a while to get the word out. But again, we've raised $8 million this year, but we see this as a growth business. We got into this not because we expected to have incredible success in the first 1 to 3 years, but we're a real believer in you plant seeds with the notion that this is going to be a growth business over 7 to 10 years, and that's exactly how we look at it.
No, it's
and the other thing I would say, I was just going to say, one other thing is we've been particularly excited by what we've seen among the interest among younger people. 50% of our investors have been millennials, 24% have been Gen Z. We've seen a lot of women invest individually. So we definitely see signs that we're cracking that code about how to get to the direct-to-consumer, the person who is very focused on loads and fees and doesn't really know it but wants to be in this business, sees real estate as a good opportunity to diversify their portfolio. So far it's been really a great response.
Yeah, and I
Sorry
remember
to interrupt you.
I remember my interview with the president over at Jamestown, Michael Phillips, and we were talking about how it's very rare for institutional companies to do this. And for the audience who aren't maybe as finance heavy, just think about it this way. Normally institutions, if you're dealing with billions of dollars like Jamestown is, they don't normally look at products or make the type of investment that it takes to ramp up a product and like what Jamestown Invest is doing, because frankly, $8 million, while that may sound a lot, and it is a lot, by the way, so congrats on that, and there's a ramp-up period there, but compared to the billions that normally institutions like Jamestown also do, this becomes a big commitment. It's a long-term commitment, and there's more behind it than just, the profitability of it. Of course, that's a big deal, but to even go down that road and to want to, and even to target, let me use that word, but to help target whatever we want to say, millennials or other investors, and give them a shot at these types of investments that they wouldn't have, I mean, that's a big deal.
Exactly. I mean, we invested a lot of time and energy in getting this started. We're proud of the $8 million, but we wouldn't be doing it if we thought that was the end of the road. Again, we see that over the next 7 to 10 years, we want to build a community around this. We want to build a community of people who like what Jamestown does. We've made a focus of creating these community centers, again, from Ponce City Market in Atlanta to Chelsea Market in New York, to being a major landlord in D.C., Boston, San Francisco, et cetera. And what we've done really well is create these innovation hubs and community hubs where people like to gather, shop, and live. And we see the opportunity with this new fund to really that these two things can play off each other, that investors can feel they invest with Jamestown with a stellar reputation, and at the same time they're investing with a company that takes very seriously sustainability, community, and transparency. We really live these guiding principles, and it's an opportunity for people to invest in a sponsor like that.
Tell me a little bit more about Jamestown's acquisition strategy this year. So have you acquired anything? Tell us a little bit more there. A lot going on as this is being recorded. Just for context for everybody listening, we are in November of 2020, so we're still in the middle of the pandemic and all of that stuff going on. So tell me a little bit more about the acquisition this year.
Sure. We invested a majority stake in a great project called Southern Dairies. It's a historic 5-building complex, kind of a creative, tech-focused campus of roughly a little over 79,000 square feet. It's a boutique creative office campus that is off of North Avenue, and it's the exact type of asset that is really emblematic of how we approach acquisitions. We see a building that we can curate, that we can add new tenants to, that we can reposition the asset over time, that we can do community events there. We have a lease with, for example, a women's co-working facility. We have some tech companies, creative companies, and we're really trying to foster collaboration between these companies and create a really interesting ecosystem. And what we're doing is taking Jamestown's expertise from placemaking and branding and leasing and leveraging it to this asset. And, we own some other assets in the neighborhood like Ponce City Market, but we're able to leverage our knowledge and our know-how on this smaller asset, candidly, of Southern Dairies.
Fantastic. So you also have a partnership. So Jamestown Invest is partnering with StartEngine. So tell us a little bit more about this decision and why you joined forces, because this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's really interesting. StartEngine has been on the cutting edge of crowdfunding, which we really see, again, going back to where we started with the democratization of investing. We think StartEngine is one of those companies that on the front end of giving people direct access to various investment products. The difference is StartEngine has really made their reputation, and their focus has been, not surprisingly, in the technology startup space. And this is the first time, I believe, that they've done a real estate project. So for them, it was a chance to diversify, into the real estate space. And for us, it was an opportunity to work with a group that we see doing very cutting-edge work in the democratization of investing, giving people direct access to, quality offerings. And so it's a really good partnership. So it's early, but we're really excited by what they're doing and what we're doing together.
And so how do you see this kind of elevating or distributing what Jamestown is doing to a broader audience? Because that's what I see it. I see that by you joining forces that you really have the opportunity for both of you to amplify your overall message.
Exactly. Again, they get the opportunity to get into the real estate space. We are working with a group that's known for doing cutting edge work in both crowdfunding and the tech startup space. And so it's a way for us to amplify our message, to get access to a group of investors who, when they hear about us, may say that, we think that we're already seeing that they're saying, oh, that's interesting. This is the other side. This isn't tech, but these guys are landlords to a lot of tech companies, and they're doing creative, innovative things in the real estate space, not in the tech space, but in the real estate space, and that's a good way to diversify. I may be heavily invested in tech and, what have you, but this is a way for me to get access into the direct real estate space.
That's awesome. So any kind of acquisitions that you're eyeing now, like anything on the horizon that you're working on?
Absolutely. We're looking at, some more acquisitions for Jamestown Invest. One is a project that we call the Upper West Side portfolio. Basically, it's a warehouse district sort of on the western side of Buckhead, and it's a 223,000 square feet of loft space, showroom, warehouse space, sort of a flex industrial portfolio. And again, we've made a lot of our reputation through the years repositioning warehouses, loft space, and converting it into higher and better uses. If you think about that's, a lot of what we've done in New York, D.C., and Atlanta. So again, leveraging that expertise, and that's the exact type of asset where we think we can really elevate the building, where we're going to create this sense of community, attract startup companies and other innovative, creative companies. I mean, what we've done really well is create places where people want to be. Certainly there's a trend today that, especially in a pandemic, that if you're going to get people out of their pajamas, get people to come to the office, come to your as-built environment, you have to offer something innovative. You have to offer something creative, authentic, and that's, I think, what we've done well, and that's what we are doing for the Jamestown Invest portfolio.
Fantastic. So, Matt, been great having you on the show today. If somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about Jamestown and Jamestown Invest, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, this is meant to be exactly for that direct-to-consumer clientele. It's to go on the website, Google us, check out our website, and it's a very simple process that can be done easily online.
Perfect. So, Matt, thanks again for coming on the show. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And, Matt, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been fun.
It's been fun. Thank you very much for your time, Adam. Enjoy your show and enjoyed being a part of it.